Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this afternoon's EdgeCore session, where we're going to be speaking about software-defined switching and routing for scalable networks. My name is Charles de Cree, and I'm happy to have you guys join me. And once again, a very warm welcome to you all, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. So as I mentioned, the topic is software-defined switching and routing for scalable networking. And ultimately, what we want to do is just highlight the various hardware and software solutions that are available for you to do this, and also introduce a few new exciting things that are on the horizon. But before I proceed, could I kindly ask for you to just let me know that you can hear and see my presentation just before I proceed, just to confirm that everyone can hear me loud and clear. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for the feedback that you can hear me loud and clear. So we're going to quickly go through this. Like I said, it's a nice brief summary of EdgeCore, and hopefully this will spark your interest to encourage you to learn a bit more. Something to note is, although this is very brief today, we do have a slightly more in-depth session tomorrow. In one of our technical slots, we're going to be looking at EdgeCore's open networking and taking a closer look via a live demonstration at their EC Cloud cloud-based management solution. So definitely keep an eye out for that one tomorrow if you do want to learn a bit more. So yeah, guys, so for those of you that don't know EdgeCore, here at Miro, where EdgeCore pretty much slots in is as one of our top quality switching solutions. Okay, so they offer everything from your entry-level enterprise switches all the way up to your really hardcore carrier-grade type bare metal switches that are offering most of the time open networking solutions that allow you to select the network operating solution of your preference. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. If anyone's got any questions, please feel free to pop it into the comment section, and I'll be sure to answer you at the end of the session. So yeah, just to reiterate, guys, my name is Charles de Cree. I'm one of the senior product managers here at Miro and second in charge of my department. Yeah, and I'll be running you through this presentation today. So just a quick glimpse into who are EdgeCore and what do they do. We're going to look at their company brief with their vision, mission, and value proposition. So EdgeCore Networks is a wide/wireless solutions for data center service provider and enterprise solutions, brand. Okay, that's basically the core of their focus. Like I said, wide and wireless solutions. They are part of a larger group called the Acton Group, which has been around since 2004. EdgeCore consider themselves the leader in open, disaggregated, and networking solutions, but they have a full portfolio of open and traditional platforms. Okay, so they've got a very strong focus on extensive technology R&D and integration with third-party ecosystems. Okay, they have a worldwide presence, and obviously through Miro, we are able to empower the South African markets with these very high-quality solutions. So the Acton Group, like I said, this is the largest sort of umbrella group. They are one of the leaders in network ODM, so servicing tier 1 customers. They were founded in 1988 and went public in 1995 via the Taiwan's TWSE. So to date, they've done $1.8 billion US dollars revenue in 2019 and currently employ over 5,145 employees. So definitely a large-scale corporation. They have a very strong focus on research and design. So throughout the world, they have 9 research and design locations with up to 1,000 engineers working daily to obviously improve the technology that we have from the likes of EdgeCore. So they have a state-of-the-art high-volume manufacturing facility both in Taiwan and China. Of course, that's when it's manufactured, and Miro will import it and hold stock here in South Africa. And as you'll learn, we're going to touch primarily on the switching solution, but being part of the Acton group means that there are other components and solutions that can work in conjunction with the EdgeCore switches, essentially providing you with a really good one-stop shop. So the Acton group, just to try and summarize, obviously the different components of this group in the most simplest way possible. They've got a strong focus on design, so the R&D development side of things, and that obviously gets pulled through from the Acton group. They also do web hosting for Taiwan, small to medium-sized businesses as well. They are a large-scale manufacturer, as I mentioned, where they have multiple locations in Taiwan and China, and then a number of go-to-market brands that they own. So two familiar ones that you'll see here, obviously EdgeCore Networks itself, which is open networking and traditional wired and wireless solutions, but also IgniteNet. So I don't know if any of you would have joined the previous IgniteNet presentation, but that's typically your outdoor wireless equipment. They've got some really cool stuff operating on 5 gigahertz, 60 gigahertz, and so forth. So those are actually both under the Acton group. So although they have different brand names, they come essentially from the same place. Last but not least, EdgeCore also part of a number of different foundations, such as the Arts Foundation, that was created in the year 2000, and the E-Platform for Charitable Work since 2001. So the EdgeCore vision and mission. So, ideally they want to transform the way the world connects, okay? So their vision is open network hardware and software that will fundamentally transform network design and deployment, providing operators with freedom, innovation, and control. Their mission is to deliver industry-leading wired and wireless solutions for data centers, service providers, and enterprises. So, right off the bat, you'll notice that aligns very nicely with, Mura's value proposition and the type of client base that we like to serve, which is, once again, data centers, service providers, and enterprises. So something to note is that they form part of a number of leading open network, bodies, okay, whether it be the Open Compute Project, Telecom Infra Project, Sonic. These are all very prestigious groups that, EdgeCore Networks is part of, okay? And in order to do that, you need to obviously be a certain caliber of brand and offer a certain quality when it comes to your various solutions. So this is obviously a very prestigious thing to have to your name. So if you haven't heard of EdgeCore before, and it's maybe your first time, I'd like to just highlight that this is a massive brand with a worldwide presence. So just looking at the statistics from 2019, EdgeCore had pushed out $8.2 million worth of equipment, and a total of $57.6 million was pushed out of all ports internationally via the Acton group. So they're obviously moving towards 25% market share when compared to other OEMs. So in summary, the types of market solutions that they provide are data center enterprise solutions. So you'll see that with their open networking solutions, service provider, whereby the sort of more traditional wired/enterprise switches come into play. And then last but not least, they also do a bit of wireless as well, which obviously will form part of this holistic ecosystem. Let's take a quick look at the software and hardware portfolio. The nice thing is that EdgeCore integrates with a number of different software partners, okay, whether it be your Cumulus Linux, Broadcom, Big Switch Networks, etc. These are obviously more applicable to your open networking switches or your bare metal switches. Basically, just whatever switch it is that you want to use, run it by us to ask what specific software you want to use, and we can confirm whether or not that is compatible with that specific model. Okay, so the first hardware component of the portfolio is EdgeCore's data center and enterprise switches. So this is talking about your really high level switching solutions. Okay, so units that come with 1 gig ports all the way up to 100 gig ports. Okay, So really, really high capacity, the typical type of equipment that you will install in the core of your network. Okay, really robust, high capacity. It'll have redundancy, like dual hot swappable power supplies. You can have both on certain units, AC or DC power supplies, and so forth. So really built for longevity and what you'll want to support the core of your network. They also offer end-to-end service provider solutions, so service provider, core and edge switching solutions, metro aggregation, OLT, VBNG, and cell site router gateways. Okay, so it's a very vast portfolio, as you can already see. But the important thing to note is, like, if you don't see a specific switch that you would like from EdgeCore on the Mirror portfolio, the chances are we may have not maybe added it to our portfolio as of yet, or we may have not imported that particular model before. But that's not to say that it's not available to you. Share the model number with us. We'll check the stock availability, and if we're all good to go, we can place an order and get that unit in for you. Something really cool to note about EdgeCore is that all orders are air freighted. So there's actually a really good lead time with that. All we need to do is confirm the manufacturing lead time with EdgeCore themselves, and then based on that, we can build up a holistic lead time with the shipping included. And then last but not least, you've got your standard access switching. So this is a typical solution that you'll use as an ISP or a small to medium-sized business. Some things to note is that it does have an embedded in-house operating system called EdgeCore, if that is the way you want to go. Environmentally friendly and extremely energy efficient. High reliability hardware design. If you guys have ever worked with an EdgeCore switch, you'll see that it's extremely robust. All the components are extremely high quality, so there's no cutting corners in that regard, and that's why EdgeCore is a slightly more premium brand. You'll often find that it may be a little bit more pricey than its competitor or direct competitor, but it's because of that quality aspect that they bring forward, and it's for that exact reason that Mirror, a distributor of various different switch brands, decided that EdgeCore was a must-have for our portfolio. So, as I said, very high performance and affordability. And, these are obviously your more entry-level switches, but they do have rich layer 2 and layer 2 plus features. Okay, high port density configurations for fiber to the X access. So for whatever types of fiber applications you want to use, obviously you've got gigabit Ethernet, SFP, SFP plus, QSFP if need be, and it just goes upward from there. So definitely a very versatile portfolio. And as I said, if you're not quite sure of the model that you need, send us a port configuration, the feature set that you're looking for, and we can go and exactly pinpoint the exact unit that you need for your application, and then get back to you with that specific model. And then you've got an integrated wired and wireless management solution that they offer as well. And yeah, just in summary here, the last thing that we wanted to highlight is the wireless access solution that they've just launched. So as I mentioned in the beginning, the Acton Group owns both EdgeCore, which is your switching solution, as well as IgniteNet, which is your outdoor wireless solution. And as of a few weeks ago, they actually launched their EC Cloud solution that was originally only working with IgniteNet to now also work with the EdgeCore switching solution. So as I said, tomorrow we're going to have a technical session where we're actually getting the guys from EdgeCore and IgniteNet to do a full live demonstration of this solution. So we're really excited about that. And of course, from an integrator perspective or an ISP perspective, you can imagine how many doors that now opens up, having this single management platform to look after your entire EdgeCore switching solution, your enterprise switches and SMB switches, as well as your access points from EdgeCore, and last but not least, the IgniteNet equipment as well. And as I mentioned, the IgniteNet equipment is really cool stuff, operating on 60 gigahertz. We see a lot of the guys use it for their last mile applications and so forth. Their backbone to 5 gigahertz point-to-multipoint solutions and so forth. So really, really neat solution. And I mean, now being able to see it all via EC Cloud, it's a huge game changer. So definitely, if you weren't considering using EdgeCore before and IgniteNet before, you'll definitely want to reconsider with this new introduction. So just some of the basic features that it offers. Many of you guys will be familiar with this if you've used some of our other solutions. Via this EC Cloud platform, you do get your guest authentication feature. So you can create custom splash pages, multiple SSIDs and so forth to obviously serve different types of client bases. If you're looking at let's say a hospital, you might have a requirement to serve different types of clients. Let's say you've got your patients, you've got guests, you've got management staff, you've got normal medical staff and so forth. You can actually create different SSIDs for each one of those types of user groups and apply different rules and policies to basically tailor the experience that each one of those types of users will get. So a very nifty feature with regards to tailoring the experience for each and every type of user. You also have a feature called zero-touch provisioning. So this basically means that you can onboard any of these units just by using the serial number. So, I mean, it's quite awesome to think that you can get one of these awesome EdgeCore enterprise switches and pre-configure it remotely just by using its serial number. As soon as the unit gets plugged in and gets internet connection, it will go up live and it will have connectivity and work as per your configuration. You've got a very easy hotspot deployment feature. So as I said, you can do custom splash pages and serve multiple types of SSIDs. So obviously, as you know, guys, Wi-Fi is a very hot topic at the moment. So by having that feature on top of your sort of switch management solution, you can utilize the EdgeCore Wi-Fi access points, which to date isn't something that Miro has actually necessarily done. But with the introduction of this EC Cloud solution, we are looking at bringing a few of these EdgeCore switches, EdgeCore access points to work on top of your outdoor wireless and switching solution. Obviously, in the name, it does mention EC Cloud, so one would assume it is indeed a cloud-based solution. So EdgeCore offer this for free up to your first 50 units, okay? So once you exceed, obviously, 50 devices within your cloud, there is a licensing fee that will be introduced. But obviously, that's just to cover the cost of EdgeCore hosting that server for you. But you also have a controller-based management option as well for your local sites and applications. On the Wi-Fi side, as I mentioned, this is something Miro are looking at bringing in on board to obviously complement the entire ecosystem. EdgeCore do offer indoor and outdoor Wi-Fi access points. These are typically 802.11ac Wave 2, and they will also introduce Wi-Fi 6 access points ideally before the end of this year. And then last but not least, as I mentioned, we've got the IgniteNet radios. So this is really, really neat equipment because it's operating on 60 gigahertz. So as I mentioned, it's a great last mile sort of backhaul solution for 5 gigahertz point-to-multipoint solutions. So, in a sense, you've got very high capacity over a very short distance. And because it's operating on 60 gigahertz, you're not going to be utilizing any of that very scarce 5 gigahertz frequency that is, very hard to obviously utilize to its maximum capacity at all times if you're in a very noisy area. So, like I said, if you're already operating or you've decided that you're going to go 5 gigahertz on your point-to-multipoint, which is sort of the go-to in the market at the moment, you don't want to use up any more of that spectrum. Definitely you can look at using the IgniteNet 60 gigahertz equipment. For the time being, it is point-to-point, but I do know that there are a number of discussions with the ICASA to try and open it up to point-to-multipoint. So very exciting. You can imagine for micropop applications and such, that will really be an awesome feature to have. So yeah, guys, that's just a quick little sort of teaser / insight into the EC Cloud solution and obviously the hardware portfolio. But like I said, this is just a little heads up as to what's to come. Tomorrow on IPCon Day 3 from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, we've got a 2-hour session scheduled. I don't think it'll be as long as that, but we're going to be having some of the EdgeCore team members join us to do a full run through of the entire open networking portfolio, so all your bare metal switches and the respective operating systems, and then that's going to be followed by a live demonstration of this EC Cloud solution. So definitely join us there, and I'm sure you guys will have a lot of questions after running through that. But yeah, guys, this is a very short and sweet presentation, to the point. But as I said, we will have some additional presentations happening tomorrow. But yeah, guys, thank you once again for joining us. If you do have any inquiries on any of these, on the EdgeCore switches, or have a specific switch you're looking for, maybe it's a model you don't know about, send through the port configuration, your ideal feature set to sales@mirror, or give us a call. If there's any specific topics of discussion that you'd like to raise with me, myself, or you want to set up maybe an additional call for us to look over a solution, discuss a project, then definitely please pop me a mail. As I mentioned, I'm one of the senior product managers here at Mirror and second in charge of the product management department. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, guys, as a Mirror business partner, please don't hesitate to plug in. You've got all these resources available to you. This is a partnership, so we are working together. So please don't hesitate to leverage the resources that are available to you. So I have to close things soon, but I do see we've got one or two questions here that I'll try and answer as quickly as I can. So I see one here is, does the cloud-based management solution support third-party applications? The answer is yes. So there are a select few, and I assume they will be running through that in tomorrow's session. So, for those of you who don't know, aren't that familiar with using third-party solutions with a cloud-based management platform, that sort of comes into play when you are looking to use something like a Linkify or Wi-Fi solution on top of your Wi-Fi/switching solution. So if you want some additional marketing and analytics, that's the way you're going to go. So your management solution will essentially act as a gateway to that third-party solution. Does the cloud-based solution support the legacy EdgeCore access points? I'm going to have to check that. So as I mentioned, we previously did not do the EdgeCore Wi-Fi equipment. It's now something that we're looking at doing with obviously the new EC Cloud that's just come on board. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it will. One would assume that obviously with it being a brand new solution, it's going to be working with the latest releases going forward. And yeah, guys, so as I said, if there are any more questions that you'd like to push my way, please utilize my email address here below. And for any quotations or just general solution planning, please feel free to contact sales@mirror.co.za. But otherwise, like I said, I'd really like to encourage you to join us for tomorrow's session from 9 to 11. That's going to be the EdgeCore technical session, where we're really going to do a deep dive into the open networking hardware that we have to offer, and a full live demonstration of the EC Cloud solution. So thank you everyone very much. I'm sorry that this was a very quick, short and sweet intro, but we would definitely love to have more discussions going forward. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and yeah, have a fantastic afternoon. And yeah, just for those of you that are planning on sticking around for the rest of the afternoon, we've still got an action-packed schedule with the likes of BDCom, ZK Teco, TP-Link, Sangoma, Untangle, Siklu. So definitely, tap in and be sure to join us for this Grandstream sponsored event. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day.